Hi friends, today we're working on Unit 3, Lesson 2, pages 121 through 123. Today you'll need your ruler and you will need a pencil. So we're looking at this page today, which is page 121, and I already pulled it out of my book, so I'm just going to put it to the side real quick. And we're going to start, however, and I'm going to do a little bit of chit chat before we get going. So I'm going to draw some shapes real quick, and I'm not a robot, so I'm just going to do my best. And I like to say that I'm not a robot because sometimes kids get really picky and they're like, that doesn't have perfectly square corners or whatever. So you probably are recognizing these shapes right away. Go ahead and unmute yourself and tell me what these shapes are. That's right, they are squares. And how many sides does a square have? And so when we're doing this right now, I just want you to unmute yourself and answer, so we don't have to like pause all the time and it takes forever. So how many sides does a square have? All right, and how many angles does a square have? And the angles, another word for angle is corner. How many angles does a square have? All right, so something is special about these squares. Can you talk to me about what is special about the angles of a square? So I'm going to write this right here. Angles. Wait, that's angel. No, I had it right. A-N-G-L-E is the same as a corner. The math word for corner is angle. Not to be confused with angels. That's an angel. This is an angle. So how can you describe the angles of a square? Yeah, so each side is a straight line, and they all have square corners. And that's why I put that little thingy in there. So anytime that you have that perfect corner that you could put a square in, that's called a right angle. All right, so all of these corners, all of these angles in the square are right angles. And that also means that it's a 45-degree angle. But you don't need to know that part yet. Wait, hold on a second. I don't think it's 45. It's a 90-degree angle. Whoops. Sorry if you heard me pause there for a second. It's because I was having a little bit of a brain bubble as I was thinking about that. So that's a right angle. And then what are the sides like of the square? Tell me about the sides. All four sides are they're the same. And are they wiggly or are they straight sides? Yeah, they're straight sides. So each side is a straight line and all sides of a square are the same length. All right, so now we're ready to move on to page 121. We've talked about square, what a square is, and a square is a shape that has four sides the same length and four right angles. Okay? Oh my goodness, it says it right there. A square is a shape with four equal sides and four right angles. I didn't even read that before I said that. Now this says to use your centimeter ruler and draw a square with sides that are each 3 centimeters long. And remember, the centimeters are the side that has the little ones. So we're gonna start here on the bottom, and we're gonna do our best to draw 3 centimeters. Now I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna make right angles the best I can. But like I said, we're not robots, so we try our best and trust that. I'm gonna go to the top now. And sometimes I notice that one of my sides will get a little bit wider than it's supposed to be, but that's okay, as long as I'm doing my best and using my ruler. Now I'm gonna go ahead and label each of, or 2 of the sides. 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters. And then I'm gonna put that little square into each corner so that we know that it's a right angle. And I want you to do that same thing. When you're finished, give me a thumbs up so that I know that we can move on. All right, so now it says look at these shapes. So just take a peek at these shapes right here. You can look on the screen here, or you can look at your own paper. Now I want you to talk to me right now and let me know, are any of these shapes squares? Go ahead and unmute yourself and let me know. Yeah, you guys notice that they are not squares. So we're gonna say no, none of these shapes are squares. This one has 2 long sides, and these corners are not right angles. These are all different length sides. These are all different length sides. So they cannot be squares. It looks like this has a right angle though, but not all of them are right angles, so none of them are squares. It says, how are the angles of these shapes different from the angles of squares? I'm gonna pause the video and we're gonna talk about how these angles are different from squares. They are not right angles. Yeah. How are the sides of these shapes different from the sides of squares? So what did we say? What did I tell you about these each? Go ahead and talk about it right now. I'll pause the video. They are not all the same length. Did you notice that when we're talking about geometry and measurement, we do a lot more writing? I noticed that. Okay, is this shape a square? Why or why not? So we're gonna stop and discuss this real quick. If this is a square, why or why not? That's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it's on its side, some people think it's not a square, but other people notice that all 4 sides are the same length and it has right angles. And a square is a shape with 4 sides that are 4 equal sides and 4 right angles. So yes, because it has equal sides, has 4 equal sides, and 4 right angles. I will pause the video so that you can write that down. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we've learned about squares, and now we're moving on to the rectangle. Okay, so a rectangle is a shape with opposite sides that are equal in length and 4 right angles. So this right here is a rectangle, right? The opposite sides, opposite means the one right across from it, Is this the same length as this? Yes. Is this the same length as this? Yes. Do we have right angles here? Yes. So this is a rectangle. So a rectangle, the opposite sides are the same length. So it has two sides that are the same and two sides that are the same. So a square has all the sides as the same length, okay? And so a rectangle can have two sides that are the same and two sides that are the same. So this says, to use our centimeter ruler to draw a rectangle that is 6 centimeters long and 3 centimeters wide. So the length goes across the bottom and the width goes on the side. Oops, I need to redo mine because it drew up too high. Let me go ahead and start with my 3 centimeter length this time. There we go. So it's 3 by 6. I'll connect those two, my other 3. And then of course I need to label it 3 centimeters, 6 centimeters. Show me your rectangle right now, please. It's so important to use your ruler when you're drawing rectangles and squares. I forgot to put my right angles in there. Look at these shapes. Are these shapes rectangles? Why or why not? I'll pause and we can talk about it. You guys are smart. They are not rectangles because they don't have right angles. Is a square a rectangle? Why or why not? So I'm going to pause this and we're going to talk. This is a hotly contested one. All right, that's tricky, isn't it? Yes, it is. Opposite sides are the same length and it has 4 right angles. That's a tricky one to wrap our minds around sometimes. So not all rectangles are squares, but all squares are rectangles. That can be very tricky. Okay, the last page that we're going to do today has friendly old triangle. A triangle is a shape with 3 angles and 3 straight sides. All of these shapes are triangles. So now it says measure each side of triangle A. What did you discover about the sides? I'll pause the video and let you do that. So we discovered that all sides are the same length. Okay, B, so let's go ahead and measure each side of triangle B and discover what we've got going about this one. Hey guys, I'm still recording.
I'm so sorry.
Whoops, I started using my... So what we noticed is 2 sides are the same. One side is different. Now, of course, we're going to measure C. I'll pause and you can tell me what you noticed about it. Yep. All sides are different. Is says draw a loop to show how much longer the longest side of triangle C is than the shortest side. Oh, sorry again. Draw a loop to show how much longer the longest side of triangle C is than the shortest side. So if we were to measure C on this side, that side is 3. This side is 5. And so if we were to loop that, I can mark that right here and right there. That's how much longer that one is than that last side. So it is 2 centimeters longer than its shortest side. That was a lot of information today. I know that was a lot of information. And that sometimes is one of the things that gets tricky about learning geometry, because we have a lot going on that we're doing. I think I would like a picture of this rectangle page. So page 122 is the one I want to see today in Seesaw. Thanks for working so hard. I know that your brains are probably growing right now and getting so strong because there was a lot of new information. Nice work, friends.